welcome to First Friday Forum here with the Hourglass. We're very happy today to have Jose Lopez from SACA and SACA Development here with us today. Jose, thanks for being with us.
You're welcome.
Excellent. My name is Jonathan Russell with Hourglass. Before we get started, I've got a couple announcements. The first is that we want to thank Rogers & Associates for their support of these forums. They've been a longtime sponsor, and we really appreciate their support. And also Millersville University and the Ware Center, where we would be if it were not for COVID and us being on a virtual format. So thanks to Millersville and Ware Center, as well as Rogers & Associates. Also, if you have not seen the big announcements that have been coming out this week, there are a lot of vaccines available in Lancaster County. So if you have not registered yet to receive a vaccine and would like to do so, head on over to vaccinatelancaster.org, which is a website you can check out what your availability is, register for a vaccine to get one. We encourage all of you to take a look at that, and your shot of hope is what we're calling it in Lancaster here. So appreciate those folks who have done so already and have been able to. That's great. So we are here today with Jose Lopez, and I'm going to read a quick bio of Jose before we start here. Jose is currently president of SACA and SACA Development Corporation. He previously held vice president and senior vice president and chief appraiser roles at BB&T, Susquehanna Bank, and Pacific Mercantile Bank. Jose has a BS degree from Westchester University of Pennsylvania. Nice, that's where I went. And was awarded the MAI, ASA, and AIGRS professional appraisal and valuation designations. In addition, Jose has previously served as president CEO of SACA Development in the late 90s through the early 2000s. He grew up in Lancaster and specifically in the neighborhood in which SACA is located. Jose is also a graduate of Lancaster Catholic High School. He has served as a board member of various nonprofit and community organizations in Pennsylvania, Florida, and California. So we're very lucky to have him back here in Lancaster and doing the excellent work with SACA. So before I hand over the reins to Jose, I just want to make sure that you see we have a question and answer function on the bottom of the screen. So if you'd like to submit a question to Jose, and we will get to them at the end of his presentation. So please submit questions through the question and answer function. If you like somebody else's question, hit the thumbs up button. We'll count that as kind of a vote for those questions, and the ones with the most votes we'll get to first. So thank you so much for being here today. And Jose, I'm going to let you take over.
All right, let me share my screen. Jonathan, thank you for the opportunity to be here today. And, you know, specifically because you're my neighbor and I hardly see you, so it's good to see you.
Absolutely. Yeah, I did not mention Jose and I are next door neighbors. So
is my screen up here for you guys to look at? Okay.
Looking good.
All right, let me just get back to where I was. All right. So no, this presentation is about SACA. This is an organization that's been here in existence for 48 years in the Lancaster community. Our motto that I've adopted since I came back here 10 months ago, and I want everybody to know that this is what we do and all the work that we do. We are, lifting people up from poverty and transforming lives. That's what we do here at SACA and all the things that we do. So that's my mug shot there for you all to see. All right, so as I said, SACA's been in the Lancaster community for 48 years. SACA was founded and is currently being run by our CEO, Carlos Guapera. Him and I are partners in crime once again. Previously was here before when in the late 90s, early 2000s, and I spent about a 6-year period working with Carlos here on our economic development efforts, affordable housing efforts through SACA Development, where I was the president and CEO of our development entity. And back during that time, we created the General Cigar Building Project, which houses 30 affordable housing units, low-income housing tax credit project, and also is where our public radio station is, our Radio Centro, and it's also where we have our main administrative offices and whatnot. You can see here in this slide all the things that we do. We got El Centro Hispano, Tec Centro, SACA Development, WLCH, which is our public radio station, Radio Centro, Nuestra Clínica. We have Nuestra Clínica inpatient facility that we have on 50 New Street. We also have our outpatient drug and alcohol facility that's housed in our Pershing Avenue facility at Centro Hispano and whatnot. So we're going to go over a couple of the things, some stats here for some of the programs. These are current stats that we put as of April. So our case management at Centro Hispano, which is where we do human services there. The SACA case managers are often the first point of entry for government and public health services in our community here. And so we'll point people in the right direction to get them acclimated and whatnot. Our senior center, which is one of the biggest senior centers here in Lancaster County, the Luis Munoz Marin Senior Center is also located there. Supports the most vulnerable citizens in our community. We do help them with social, educational, recreational, and psychological services that we provide there. And as you can see on an average basis, we do have attendance of 65 folks coming there. There's about 591 folks that are registered that do participate on and off, that we have constant contact with, that we try to reach out to. At this facility, the Centro Hispano facility, which is at 545 Pershing Avenue, we also have our community meals program there, which we've had there since the inception of our organization. El Centro Hispano is actually the first location that SACA had and began operating from in the mid-70s. So we do provide free meals to the community there, Monday through Saturday. And so our per day, actually, it says here 85, but I know that lately it's been higher than that because of COVID. And so we've had over 200 people come there in the beginning of COVID back last year. And so that continues to be a program that we get excellent support from the community. And but it's very challenging to maintain over time, especially when there's greater need. So this is our stats on our Nuestra Clínica education and prevention services that we offer here at the General Cigar Shops. We have a clinic here for folks that this is basically our HIV/AIDS program that we've had in place for 24 years within the Lancaster community. We provide life skills training classes also for students that are 9 to 19 years old. Try to reach students to make sure that they understand, what happens if you get involved in having sex and things that you need to be aware of. We call this program NSEPS, which provides free confidential counseling, testing, and community service to the community. And here we have stats of the folks that we serve. This is our Nuestra Clínica mental health and drug and alcohol outpatient program, but we also have in here our Nuestra Clínica residential, which is the Pennsylvania's first inpatient treatment facility for Latino men. It's a 30-90 day program that we have. It's located up on 50 New Street, which is in the hospital complex area. And that program has been there over 25 years. It's a bilingual treatment facility. And so if you have language barriers, there's no issues there, and you will get your treatment in the Spanish language. Since we had our Nuestra Clínica residential, we've think about 5 years ago, we decided to initiate La Casa, which is a halfway house. This is the first of its kind in Lancaster County. It's a 23-bed, all-male bilingual facility at service individuals 18 and up. And most of the folks that end up at our residential facility end up transferring to La Casa as they continue in their recovery. We also have a recovery house that's located on, oh God, I can't remember the name of the street. It's on Hazel Street, I'm sorry. And there, folks there are self-sufficient folks, and they some of the folks that transfer from our halfway house end up at recovery house. To get there, you would have already gotten an opportunity to gain employment and are working in the or getting trained in some type of trade training that we're going to talk about later. And so there's I think 6 men that could live in this property, and they stay there for up to 6 months. So as I said, we have Radio Centro, which is our public radio station that was formed back in 1986, and the station was formed to provide the community with the opportunity to become fully informed about news, current events, education, and cultural programs. It also serves as a vehicle for greater interaction between English and Spanish-speaking communities, challenging both to become one community. And we do that through a variety of ways. Most of you might be familiar with our program that we have in the morning. It's called Café con Leche. There is a medium that we have to provide information, all kinds of information. Lately, we've been focusing mostly on COVID and the issues surrounding COVID in our community to better educate our community about things of, why is it important for you to go get the vaccine? And that's a major emphasis that we're pushing lately. Next week, we're going to be hosting a community vaccination clinic for 3 days next week with our partner, Capital Blue Cross Blue Shield, here at our Pershing facility. We're going to be distributing, I think we have 850 shots. And so we're pushing that out to make sure people have access to get vaccinated. This station also serves a regional audience as we reach Lancaster and York, and we broadcast 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. All right, so we're going to talk about Tec Centro, which is one of our major initiatives that in the last 6 years that we've embarked on, a very successful program that we put in place. We opened the facility, Tec Centro East, which is here at Pershing and Chester Street here in Lancaster. Tec Centro is a unique, is unlike any other organization in Lancaster. We provide jobs programs there. We serve underemployed, unemployed. We also provide language and skills training, and we also provide immediate placement and impact to and within our community. This is a picture of Tec Centro Southwest, which we opened on March 29th. And this facility used to be the old Carol B. Winners Head Start program, and we purchased this property last year to expand our operation and our training program with our partnership that we have with Thaddeus Stevens College of Technology. where we are going to implement there the training of commercial industrial plumbing, electric, and HVAC/refrigeration training with our partnership with them. On the 29th, this last week, that's when we initiated the program there. We have our first class that started there is the commercial industrial electrical class got started. Within the next 2 months, we'll be starting the plumbing and the HVAC. Just some of the things that we do at Tec Centro, some of the trainings that we provide. Just a picture of one of the students. So our Tec Centro approach is unique. It's a bilingual job readiness. We provide, bilingual job readiness services. We have career navigator services. We have the bilingual skills training there, and an individualized job placement program that we run from our operation there. Pictures of some of our graduates, because we see it in a point to make sure that we have a graduation. Some of the folks that come there, this is an exciting time for them to be receiving their certificate when they graduate from our program. And last year when I came here, one of the first things I had to do was attend the graduation that we had outside. Because of COVID, we had to have it outside in the parking lot. And I tell you what, that was one of my most gratifying moments in a long time, from being involved in an organization that's actually making an impact in our community. It made me feel proud that I was going to be part of the leadership as we move our organization forward into the future. Tec Centro gives those in need of education and skills training the tools and opportunities to which will allow them to build their own future. The little demographics about the folks that come to us for training, and just because we track all this, it's important to have demographic profile of who our students are and the impact that we're creating in the community. Most of the folks that come to us are underemployed, actually, which means they already have a job, but it's not a sustainable wage earning job. And the jobs that we're training for at Tec Centro are actually jobs that are high demand jobs in our local economy. So therefore, once they complete our program, they're stepping into a higher wage job, which is actually increasing their wages 50% or greater. And that's a significant difference in a person's life. We have about 82% of our students are Hispanic, and the rest are not. We see this changing over time as we opened up our new facility at Tec Centro Southwest. Most of the students that we have enrolled in our electrical program, we have 10 students there. I think only 2 of them are Hispanic in that program. And so we'll see a variation as we move along in time as people get more exposed to our Tec Centro approach. We're going to be making an effort to diversify who is coming and getting trained. Just a couple more demographic things here. So here's our program impact since 2012. I mean, not 12, 2014. Of the students that we've trained. On a yearly basis, we've placed about 230 folks into jobs, and we've served over 25,000 folks. And that doesn't mean that we've served 25 individuals. Those are units. It could be in any of these different categories here that are listed. This is the economic impact, which me being in the banking sector previously, coming back here at SACA is a big thing. Bankers like to see economic impact and what is it that you're doing that's really making a difference. And this definitely shows that. The services that we provide basically have impacted our local economy in secondary economic way. The above averages numbers highlight how on average more than 700 individuals in the 3-year period noted infused more than $11 million into the local economy through their increased wages. And we had this done through the economic development company here in Lancaster to provide us this impact. So these are all the programs that we teach at Tec Centro. This is what it costs to teach a student, and you'll see here that the out-of-pocket expense for the students is very low. SACA and Tec Centro, we actually pay for the cost per student. Our educational partners, which is Harrisburg Area Community College and Thaddeus Stevens, as I mentioned earlier, they're coming in and doing the instruction, and we have to pay for it. And so we have a waiting list, and everybody thinks that we have a waiting list because we're popular and our programming is popular. It has nothing to do with that. The reason why we have a waiting list is because we don't have enough funding in place to cover the cost of the education that's required. So as you can see here, based on our waiting list, what it costs, we're short about 2.1 million in funding to cover the wait list. So now we're going to talk about SACA Development, which is the development entity here at SACA. We're focused on developing affordable housing and economic development, mostly in our historic Southeast neighborhood. It's going to go through a couple pictures of projects that we've completed and talk about a couple current projects we're working on. So these are photos of projects we completed, I'd say within the last 10 years. Some of them, the Belco Credit Union, which used to be the Elks Club that's on South Duke Street. We took that property and created a condominium ownership structure there, where we sold the front condo to Belco for them to have their credit union there. And then we retained the ownership of the rear portion of the building, of the 2 units that are in the rear. And that's actually where we first started our Tec Centro operation from, until we moved it to our Chester street facility. You see pictures here of our townhouse developments of new construction projects that we've developed through funds that we got through PHFA and their homeownership choice program that was in place. I think it was 20 years ago, before I decided to leave the organization. We were sketching out this project and put it in place and getting the funding in place and working with the city to identify locations of areas where we could come in. The focus of the homeownership project, homeownership choice program that was led by PHFA, was to identify, working with the city, areas in the city that had a tremendous amount of blighted property or old housing stock that we could go in and purchase and demolish, and then build brand new townhomes that would be more functional for the current needs of the modern needs that exist in housing. So these are photos of our Plaza Centro, which is at the intersection of South Duke and Chesapeake Streets. And so one, I don't know, you folks might recall, it was back in 20 years ago, it used to be Miguel's nightclub. This was the Miguel's nightclub property. And so we, there was a couple issues there, and the property became available for us to get involved and purchase this property. And I wasn't here, and Carlos, our CEO, pushed this agenda with this property. and got this project funded and approved and built. And so here, what we've created is where there once was a food desert. We've taken Brothers Grocery, which was in an inadequate location along South Duke Street, and provided them the opportunity to grow into a 10,000 square foot grocery store, which is pictured here in the center here, and get them an ability to be more successful. Plenty of parking, a brand new facility, and they're thriving in this location. The Family Dollar that's located next to it is not part of a project that we initiated. It was part of the overall project there. It was an out parcel that we ended up selling to Family Dollar, and then they came and built their own building there. So we don't have any management oversight over that piece of the project. The other 5 inline stores or businesses that exist there are part of our oversight in terms of the management. And as of today, I can say that this property is 100% occupied. And even during the issues of COVID, we've had no issues whatsoever with the tenants not being able to pay the rent that we've set with them within the leases. So this is a current project that is being built on Chesapeake Street, and it's directly across from some of the townhouse units that you saw in a prior slide. And so we're building 9. There's going to be 18 when it's all said and done, but right now we're in the process of building 9 units in our first phase of this project. And as you can see here, there's the pictures of the buildings, and these pictures are already dated. I think if you drove by there today, you'll see some more progress and whatnot. We have a list of about 20 people that are interested in purchasing these homes already, and we're working through some due diligence with our real estate broker to get the folks qualified for them to be able to step into these units once they're all completed. The building pictured on the left is a building that's going to be completed by the end of May, and then the picture here in the middle building should be done sometime in the middle of June, late June timeframe. There we go. So this is South Duke Street Plaza, which is a project that we have in formation, I would say, in our planning process, trying to put together all the funding for this project and bring it to fruition. This one is located just let's see, it's east of the townhouses that we just looked at, and across the street from the other commercial center that we have. And it is where Fulton Bank is currently, on the corner there of South Duke and Chesapeake. So what we're doing here is purchasing the Fulton Bank branch, and gonna also purchase the former Brothers store, which one time used to be Duke Clothier when I was growing up in the neighborhood there, back in the mid 70s, early 80s. That's what it was, Duke Clothier, and so it became the Brothers Grocery Store at some point. So we've relocated Brothers Grocery from that site over to our new commercial center. So we're buying this property. We're going to do an assemblage of the parcels and create a more functional site there, where we're going to build Fulton Bank, a brand new bank branch on the corner, and they're going to lease back from us on a 10-year lease initially, with a 10-year renewal option. And then we're going to build 2 additional buildings. Let me bring up the next slide so that you can kind of see the concept. So here where my cursor is right here is where Fulton's going to be at. And then we're building these 2 additional buildings to provide additional office, retail, professional spaces. And our goal is to work with existing neighborhood-based businesses to relocate them into the space, and or also entrepreneurs that are looking to set up a business for them to come to this site where they would have an ability to be successful in a brand new facility that provides access, parking, and visibility along South Duke Street. We are working, and I have been having extensive conversation with assets and the folks at SCORE for them to mentor some of the folks that might come forward that might need the mentoring for them to make sure that they have proper budgeting and whatnot so that they can be successful here. So the creation of 7 additional neighborhood businesses is part of this project. This is the social impact that we're going to be creating here. The retention of the Fulton Bank branch, they're not leaving. Fulton Bank's been committed to the Southeast since the mid-60s, and they don't intend on leaving. And the reason why they want to sell us their building is so that we can facilitate this project and make a more useful site functional and for it to benefit our community. So along with the 7 existing businesses already established in the other center, Plaza Centro, a business hub will be created along South Duke Street in the corner here of South Duke and Chesapeake Streets. Will be a elimination of the previous food desert there. The new and existing neighborhood businesses, have been really given an opportunity to expand and be successful. Now, the impact of CRIS investment will add confidence on the part of homeowners and businesses. So if you've ever driven by the site, you'll see that we had built 12 new homes along Chesapeake Street, and also the 18 that we're adding. It's creating a whole different synergy there. And once this project, the South Duke Street project, gets completed, it's going to be a whole different appeal there than what exists today. So we've also been involved for, God, even when I was here last, one of the major things that we had an emphasis in was purchasing blighted homes and rehabbing them and selling them to first-time home buyers. And so this is an example of a property that we just completed, which is on Pershing Avenue, that we renovated totally. And when I say totally, when we go in here and do a renovation of a property, we're making major investments on all the major systems of the property and actually making it more functional to fit the needs of the current buyers. I'm almost done. So how can you help? So we have a variety of ways where you can help. You can invest in the neighborhood assistance program. You can participate in the Tec Centro Foundation Endowment Program. We set up a foundation for our Tec Centro, which is how we envision in the future having a fund that will help us pay for the tuition that's required for the students. You can become a volunteer to be on our boards. You can participate in the Friends of Tec Centro group. And you can also invest in our community meals program. Now, there's a couple things I didn't cover on here that we're currently embarked on and getting completed to map out our future. We're currently undergoing a strategic planning process with the board and the staff to map out a 3-year strategic plan for the organization. One of the things that I want to see get instituted here is a little bit of a different culture change, where we're basically going to be mission focused and also core value focused. And I want to make sure that the staff understands that this is why we're here, for doing the work that we do at SACA. And so I'm excited about the opportunity to actually be back here in Lancaster came back from Southern California. People thought I was crazy coming back here in the middle of COVID and leaving my cushy bank job that I had, because I did have a cushy bank job. But at the end of the day, this is where my heart brought me back to, knowing that I had this opportunity to come back here and make an impact at SACA. As you guys know, Carlos Guapera, he's been here for 48 years. He's not going to be here forever, and this opportunity was afforded to me to step into this space. Eventually, he's going to leave, and I will assume the role of CEO, president, and CEO of this organization, and I take great honor in that, knowing that I would be stepping in his shoes and pushing forth his legacy into the future. I have a tremendous amount of respect for Carlos. He's been a mentor in my life, and I think when Jonathan mentioned that I did grow up here in the neighborhood where SACA is located, around the Pershing Avenue facility at Centro Hispano. And I recall when I was little, I was 8 years old, and I used to run around in the neighborhood. I used to get into the Centro Hispano and run around in there with other friends. And you guys know this other person. His name is Dan Betancourt. Him and I grew up here in this neighborhood, and we used to run around at the Centro, and Carlos used to chase us out. And so I always thought, why are you chasing me out of here? And I used to go back to my yard, which was on Green Street, and I would go sit in the yard and start throwing rocks at the windows at our facility there. And so I guess, karma does get to you and brings you back. This place is special to me. When my family came here from Puerto Rico, they were instrumental in making sure that my family was set up here so that we could be successful. And so never forgotten that. And so I have a tremendous amount of gratitude for the work that SACA has done here in our community. Lancaster is fortunate to have an organization like SACA in this community. Other folks in other communities have been approaching Carlos and I about setting up a Tec Centro operation in other areas, specifically in Reading and in the York area as well. And we're working with those folks in those communities to assist them in facilitating that. All right, so I guess I'm finished.
All right, Jose, thank you so much. I'll let you catch your breath there. If you stop sharing your screen, we can go back to, they can see both of our mugs here. But let's catch your breath. That was a great presentation on the excellent work you all do. Just want to say congratulations on the opening of Tec Centro Southwest. Yep. Last week is a huge addition to that community, and just congratulations from all of us. It's great. I've got some questions, but if you have questions for Jose, please submit them in the question and answer function. I already see 2 in here. And we will, as you type in questions and put them in there, you can click the thumbs up to vote on the ones you like. I'm going to ask a question first here to Jose, and then we'll get to some questions from those in the audience. My question is, so you mentioned a little bit about moving forward the organization in the future and some of the strategic planning that you work on. And I think actually one of our other questions from Kate DeHaven Freund is about this, and is, can you go over your mission and core values for the strategic plan, just to kind of go over those with us?
So I actually don't have them yet in place, and that's something that we're working on. It's ongoing. Actually working with a facilitator, and you guys might know her. Her name is Ann Gingrich with the PANO, which is the Pennsylvania Association of Nonprofits. She's our facilitator, and we only embarked on this process starting in at the end of January, early February, and so we're still going through the process of interviewing all the board members, the senior staff, and actually conducted a survey for the rest of the staff, which we've gotten excellent participation with. So no, once we've redefined our mission and our core values, I'll make it a point to make sure everybody knows about it.
Excellent. Talked about some of the funding gaps in
Mhm.
terms of the need in the community versus what you're able to provide. What are your funding sources for the programs you provide? I know probably for each different organization, it's different funding sources, but just would you mind going over some of that?
So for our behavioral health and those programs, those are all fee-for-service programs that we have contracts with counties, providers that send folks to our facilities. So we're good with those. Those are what I prefer, that type of model where you get fee-for-service. For our let me see, for our Tec Centro operation, that's a continuous struggle to get funding for that. And so we do a lot of fundraising either through the neighborhood tax credit program, which we had a session yesterday, Friends at Tec Centro, which is a group I encourage anybody to join if you like, where we provide this type of information. And we have Fulton Bank, which is one of our major partners with the tax credit program. What we have for Tec Centro, we have a 5-year, which is called the NPP, which is the Neighborhood Partnership Program through the NAP. There we got $200,000 that we get each year for the next 5 years to be able to facilitate additional training and program development for us to purchase equipment that's going to be necessary for us to do the instruction. And it'll also cover some of the fit out costs required at the facility there at the Tec Centro Southwest. For the housing, it's similar. It's tax credits. It's some of the sweat equity that we built over time. And so it's the CRIZ authority that we can get funding from for the commercial projects that we're working on. It's state home funds, city home funds. All those things have different things attached to them and requirements. For example, our project that we're building on at the townhouse units, we have state funds in there that are from home funds, and it's requiring us to use prevailing wage rates. And so we're looking at a project that's already not financially feasible, and then having on top of that this requirement of prevailing wage rates puts the cost of the project up anywhere from 30 to 35%. And so those are challenging things because then we're also limited on how much we can sell the units for once they're completed, because we're trying to sell homes we're committed to doing 80% of median income or lower for the sale of the units. So it's costing us about $240 a unit to build one of those units, and we're trying to market them at 170 and 165.
One of the next question we have kind of relates to SACA development projects, and this is from John Hershey, landscape architect in Lancaster here. In place of suburban-style one-story buildings, why could the proposed Duke Street Plaza buildings not incorporate much-needed housing on upper floors over ground floor commercial spaces, while adding a better definition of the South Duke landscape?
So I appreciate that. That was my initial thing, and this is a design that we're still formulating and whatnot with the issue of parking and access there. To add additional housing on the upper floors would be a little bit of a challenge, but yeah, so we were looking at that as well.
And folks, if you have questions, feel free to submit them here for Jose. He's been graciously accepted to be an open book for us. So have a question here for you, Jose, on what are the largest challenges facing the Latino community in Lancaster right now?
So the issue of underemployment is probably the biggest issue that faces our community here, which is why the inception of our Tec Centro model that we put in place in 2014 to address that issue and providing an opportunity for folks to get trained in the in-demand jobs that exist in our local economy at a neighborhood level. Most of the folks that we encounter with our training program will never be able to go access Hack or go to Thaddeus Stevens. And so with our partnerships with these entities, we've developed short-term training programs that kind of mirror what they learn at the school, but it's a shorter duration. And it actually allows them to have a stepping stone if they wanted to pursue that. But most of them don't. So we'll work with the students that come through our program and get them into a position and place them. And we'll follow them for 180 days. And some of the training that we provide here, some of the folks have language barrier. And so we provide English as a second language as a tool for them to get from the training that we provide. I put up one of those slides and it shows that we've served about 25,000 different service units. That's what it includes. It could include the training itself for whatever profession they want to follow in. It could include the job placement. It could include the ESL. It could include a GED training to get your GED, because we provide all that in-house. And in addition to that, we provide a skills training component, because we want to make sure that once the folks are trained and they're out in the workforce, that they're going to be successful employees. And then we'll do a follow-up with them, and we do follow up with the employer to make sure that they're being successful.
Excellent. So how has SACA been affected by COVID? And across the country, it seems as though communities of color have been especially hit hard by COVID. Has that trend happened here in Lancaster? And what has SACA's role been in facilitating a response to that?
So, yes, we've everybody's been affected by COVID. Our community is no different. But, initially we've taken the steps here because we do have a mode of communication that not a lot of communities have, to be able to spread the news about the issues around COVID through our public radio station. And we've made it a concentrated effort to educate our community and continually have programming around that, so that we can affect thinking. And because let me tell you, there's a lot of negative thinking. People don't want to go get the vaccine. They don't trust that. And so we've made an effort to try to, turn that around and actually lead by example. I mean, Carlos and I, we've both been vaccinated. It was something that I would never do before, because when I was younger, everybody says, oh, you got to go get your flu shot and everything. And so I was also in the Army at one point in my younger age. And I used to have to get the flu shot. And so I would never want to get a flu shot after I was done with the Army, because it used to make me sick. So I had that kind of thinking. But no, with this issue, no way. I mean, I knew if it was my opportunity to get the vaccine, I was going to be in the forefront to lead by example and say, hey, this is okay. This is what we need to do to get back to normal. So we're trying to do that. In terms of the operation of SACA, yes, we had to shut down our operation. Our mental health and drug and alcohol facilities actually had maybe one incident of COVID that we had to deal with, but we had a program in place. We isolated people and did what we needed to do. Our behavioral health executive director, which is Jacqueline Fisher, she's our expert when it comes to that program and the issues that we need to address with the program. Had a plan in place to deal with an outbreak that could occur. In terms of the outpatient program, we went to telemed, and we were able to, actually we had a more successful rate of dealing with people rather than them keeping their appointment and coming into our office. And so we're going to hopefully try to continue to use a hybrid model. At our Tec Centro operation, we were shut down for 3 months, and then we opened back up in a hybrid model educational thing. And we're still operating that way today. And so as people get vaccinated, we'll move away from that. I also mentioned that, we do have 30 affordable housing units upstairs. It's a rental property that we own, and we did not have any issues there with COVID at all. And even with the tenants being able to pay their rent, we didn't have any issues with that as well.
Wow, that's great. Fantastic. So, looking at all the work you did. So in preparation for this forum, I printed out all of the stuff on your website that you do, and it is a book. There's a lot. There's a lot that you all work with. One of the organizations mentioned is La Academia. What is your relationship with La Academia? And
oh yes, I forgot about that. That was one of our.
I want to make sure I reminded you.
That was one of our main focuses back in, I don't know, 25 years ago, and the community got together to set up a charter school here, La Academia, which is the partnership charter school that's housed in one of our facilities that SACA Development owns. So we were instrumental in setting that up, and so the board structure of La Academia has grown, and they're able to do their own thing, make their own decisions. And so today, our role and responsibility with the partnership charter school is La Academia is just as a landlord-tenant relationship. We once used to be the fiscal agent for the charter school, and we're no longer the fiscal agent. The board made a decision to take that out and do their own thing. And so we right now, we're very supportive of it, of course. That needs to continue, the charter school. But in terms of our oversight over anything, we're just a landlord-tenant relationship today.
Gotcha. Great.
Yep.
Well,
and as you know, that's behind our house.
Yeah, that's
we
our
live
block,
there.
right back there.
Around the corner. So yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's a good way to keep an eye on the property, right?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Excellent. So one of the questions we got during the presentation is if this all of your slides will be made, if I can send those out to the folks watching. I think you said yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put a PDF together and send it to you, and you can have them.
Great. So we'll send out the video of this forum as well as those slides in PDF form to those who attended. As always, please feel free to share this video and these resources within your networks. We so appreciate you taking time to be with us today, and especially to Jose for being here today and sharing all the great work that SACA is doing. So thanks so much, Jose.
No, I appreciate the time and to be able to present in this forum and just provide further I would say knowledge attainment to the rest of the folks about the work that SACA does in this community.
And I want to again pay special attention to the slide you had of how can we help. So check out those ways that we can support the work of SACA in the community and our greater community. So thanks, Jose. Next forum will be May 7, 2021, and it will feature a conversation with Mike McKenna and Shelby Nauman from LHOP and Tabor. They're going to talk about their combined increased capacity as their organizations have merged. So very much looking forward to that. That is May 7, Friday at noon. Just want to reiterate, if you are looking for a vaccine and would like to sign up, you can go to vaccinatelancaster.org. That's vaccinatelancaster.org and sign up, find resources there, see if you're eligible. I believe in a week and a half, everybody's eligible. So above the age of, I think it's 16. So very much looking forward to things returning to a new normal. So, but this is our presentation today, and appreciate everyone taking time to be with us. And again, thanks again, Jose, for being here.
You're welcome.
All right. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend.
Yep.